All right. Think we got everything up and running. Sorry for the late start. Had some issues there. Can y'all hear me fine? Oh no. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? Or do we not have nobody here? Sounds good. How's it going? So back to the bullish meter this week. So let's see what we got on the bullish meter here. We got some other topics that we wanted to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that. So I wanted to update you guys all on what I got going on and what we got started coming up here soon. So first thing is Dragon Masters. I know Trade Room did a quick little thing on the Dragon Masters. He went over the coins and how all those look. I was actually surprised he found some good stuff on that. So is what I got coming is I've been in Dragon Master for about a year and I've been working on that. So now is what I'm about ready to do is I'm about ready to start introducing more guild play. Going to start putting some scholarships out there. I already reached out to some of the guys and I'm working on some partnerships with them. And we should have that starting to roll out towards the end of this month. And I really want to get the Dragon Master partnership started and the scholarship started so then we can start working on the DeFi Kingdoms scholarships. And I know a lot of you guys here, you're probably more interested in the DeFi Kingdom stuff than you are the Dragon Masters. Dragon Masters should be pretty good. And I'm really excited about it. I've been talking to one of the guys over there, and he's really cool, which I've been talking to him for a long time. But with the Dragon Masters here in the next week, I'm going to start looking for a manager. So if anyone watching this stream is interested in becoming a manager, reach out to me. I almost got the application finished up. So that's coming here real soon. Hoping to have a manager in place by the end of next week. So let's see who we got in here. We got King in here. We got Mega in here. Robito, Mega again, and J Dubs. J Dubs always makes it. Thanks for showing up, guys. So, what else did we have here that I wanted to talk about? Okay, the DeFi Kingdom scholarship. So, basically, I want to say the ETA is, I'm hoping I can figure some things out by next month. So, is what I got going on there is what I'm struggling with right now is the whole payout process. Now, I know for a lot of us that are already playing DeFi Kingdoms, that's not a big deal because we can use the money within DeFi Kingdoms. The problem is, I looked at if I lived in the Philippines and I wanted to get $25 out of DeFi Kingdoms, so going from DeFi Kingdoms or from the Klaytn Chain, the fees and all that would end up being by the end, there would only be about $12 left, is what I came up with. So that's a pretty big hit by time I come out of the game, and I got to really focus and see if that's going to be worth it or not. So that's one of the big hangups that I'm dealing with right now. Hey, Skiller, how's it going? So that's what the holdup is on that. I'm hoping to be able to start testing it next month. This month, I want to get Dragon Master set up and running, and next month, I want to start on the whole scholarships for DeFi Kingdoms. So, and then the other thing I wanted to update on DeFi Kingdoms is I have been starting to pull away from DeFi Kingdoms a little bit. And this is not something that, a lot of people are probably excited to hear about. But let's think about it a little bit. Right now, there is a lot of stuff going on within DeFi Kingdoms, but nothing that's going on is important enough to where we have to really get involved and start investing heavily right now. So I'm pulling a lot of my investments away and going more into Dragon Masters and some other projects that I'm working on. So I kind of want to know your guys' thoughts. Have you guys started pulling a little away from DeFi Kingdoms and investing in other projects as well? Or is that just something I'm doing? Because I'm kind of really interested because I don't really see a whole lot of money going in and out of DeFi Kingdoms, more we all want to see money going into DeFi Kingdoms. But I'm kind of curious on your guys' thoughts on that. So let me know how you guys are doing with that. So J Dubs, he's pulling away. I just had another Gen Zero pair a few days ago. So if you bought another Gen Zero pair, then I wouldn't consider that pulling away. I'd consider that still going strongly. And I was looking at the market on Gen Zero pairs right now. I mean, as long as you don't want the original ones, I was looking at, they had some Legionnaires and stuff in there going really cheap. And I really thought, I've been thinking maybe buying into some of those too. So I'm happy for you, J Dubs. I think Gen Zero is going to be a big play here in the future. So that's cool. Rabito, he's been grinding hunts. That's good. I can't grind the hunts. I can play like 2 or 3 a day and then I'm done. That's bad. I know. Yeah, J Dubs, you want more? Yeah, I have a hard time with buying the Gen Zeros. I really need to. Like I said, I was looking at the market today and they're cheap enough. I should be. Skillers, he just gives stuff away. Well, if you're giving stuff away, let me send you my OX address there. I'm just kidding. I think I got plenty of stuff going on. This past week I've been really starting to organize my wallets and stuff because I want to get them organized for the whole scholarship program. So I wouldn't say I've been stepping away as far as I'm not playing anymore. I'm just not investing as much as I have been. So that's good to hear you guys here. You guys are still doing it all. I'm glad to hear that. Beating the boars and docks with different teams, comps keeps me engaged. Yeah, I could see that. Definitely could see that, Rabito. Hunts are really time consuming unless you do 5+ at a time. Yeah, I can't do that. I tried doing that the other day. I got all confused. I lost like every one of them. Thought I was in different places than I was. I'll leave that up to you pros. So, oh yeah, and just to let you guys know, I am trying this whole donate 3 link thing where it shows up here on the screen thing. We'll see how that works. That'd be kind of interesting. If that works that way, that's good enough for me. At least I don't have to worry about going over to Streamlabs. So, all right, who's ready to get into the bullish meter and what topics I have this week? So I only have 3 and then one for you guys to pick and maybe another one for you guys to pick. So summoning cooldown. I know some of y'all might be tired of listening to the whole summoning cooldown thing. So let me just start off by saying I'm going to proxy all my votes over to Winston Jazz hands. He sends me his OX. I'll let him have all my voting power on that. Here's my thoughts on it. I'm a big free market person, and I really think the free market should take care of the population problem. As you can tell, based on the numbers that Hubert gave us, if everyone was summoning every single summons, we would have a shit ton of heroes right now, in which we don't have. So I think the free market is helping us a little bit. And I can just speak for myself and what I'm doing. I quit summoning as soon as heroes started selling for only about 20 crystal. Now, honestly, I've never really sold mine, so I don't know what difference that makes, but in my mind, it said it's time to stop selling them once they hit, or stop summoning once they hit that. Plus, I also switched when we really found out how important stats are. Once stats became so important to me, I'm starting to wait till they get much higher level. And to be honest with you, I'm thinking about just waiting until they get to level 20 before I start summoning with them. Just because I want those extra boosts on stats. So, that's kind of It's kind of my thoughts on the summoning cooldown. I don't think as big of an issue as they're saying, but I don't get to see everything they're seeing. So it kind of really makes me wonder. And that's why I say I will go with whatever they say. Well, the link should be in the description. I don't know. Let me see. Can I get the link in here? Yeah, I can get the link. Let me get you the link. So I just really think that the summoning cooldown is not as important to be worried about right now as some people are saying it should be. So another thing, I was talking to Zellies the other day, and he brought up a good point to me about the whole cooldown thing. I think I kind of gathered from him he's all for the cooldown also, but the Gen Zeros wouldn't be the problem. And I kind of agree with his thought process on it that it would be the Gen 1s, the 10 out of 10s, increase the cooldown on that. And I started looking at a lot of my stuff also. You know, if I summons what I have now without even Gen Zeros, I could double my Legion. So, I could go from 6,000 to 12,000 in probably a week, week and a half. Hey, Jozo, thanks for joining us. So, on the cooldown thing, I'm okay with them changing the cooldown and however they wish to change the cooldown. I just don't want them putting the effort, the time, and all that into doing it. I think their time and effort would be better spent doing other things. So, curious on your guys' thoughts on that. What's your guys' thoughts on the cooldown? And I'm going to go ahead and put mine in here. So, as far as the cooldown goes, I'm just giving it a flat 0. I don't care if they do it one way or the other. My big concern is the amount of time they're going to spend. I think the number one focus should be onboarding now new players. Skiller, I 100% agree with you. But my problem is I don't think we're going to be able to increase our player base without doing some sort of mobile play. I think we got about as many players as we can get if we stick solely to browser-based gameplay. All right, what do we got here? If I could vote, I'd put to extending cooldown. And I'm not against the extending the cooldown. I'm just against them taking resources away from what they're working on to extend the cooldown. Now, I don't know. It might be just a 10-minute fix. Who knows? I mean, they know, but I don't know. I don't have any clue. J Dubs gives it a -5, wasting time on changing summons is not needed. Give us more classes for hunts. There you go, J Dubs. I'm not looking at spending the time for hunts, but I agree with the time. And I mean, more classes, I definitely agree they need to spend time on that, but I think they need to spend all their time on working on mobile. I put my 0% in the wrong spot. That's funny. Oh, it's already 0. I don't have to change it. All right. What else do we got coming in here? Yeah, I agree. If it's like a light switch, I don't see the harm. Yeah, if it's simple, I'm okay with it. I agree with the mobile. Oh, wait. Let's not skip people. But I own Gen Zero, so I'm blessed. Flexing a little there, J Dubs. I'm happy for you, though. I agree. We need mobile play and a major CEX listing. Yeah, definitely need the major CEX listing. And that's what I'm struggling with right now is how people are going to get the money out. Zan, you need glasses, brother. I definitely need glasses, but I left them on the truck and I'm currently not. I'm quite a ways away from my truck. My truck's in the shop, and that's where my glasses are. What did I screw up here? I think you read out loud with 80% accuracy. No, J-Dubs, I think you're wrong. I think I read out loud with about a 60% accuracy. Oh, biased, not blessed. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Is that really a biased thought considering even because I look at it as even if they reduce the cooldown on Gen Zeros, the rarity would increase, increasing the value of them, which should probably put that at about the same profit level. I guess that would really depend on how you would play it out. Yes, we need mobile. That's fair. So, I mean, I don't know. And here's a thought I had, and I disagree with doing this, but I had a thought. For the people that are saying they shouldn't be able to change the cooldown on the Gen Zeros, well, whether they change the cooldown on the Gen Zeros or they added a mechanic in to where the gens to where we could only summon once a week, or however they would do that, they could put the summoning portal across the map and change it every week to a different location, or I mean there's many ways they could really mess with summoning. So again, I think it's just all a waste of time to even worry about or do anything with it. So I mean it's for me, I just think at this point it's just not worth messing with. And I know a lot of people are really scared of the whole overinflation, but I don't sorry, here's kind of my thought on the whole overinflation thing. I love the whole free market thing and I agree with it. But unfortunately, since I've been in crypto in these GameFi games, the free market thing don't seem to work on a lot of these games. I see people just continuously minting NFTs that are worthless. They'll spend $10 to mint an NFT that they can only send for $5. I see that happening so much. So I can say, I guess the free market doesn't really work out here. All right, what does Chozo say? If one Gen Zero equals one vote, I'd pull all three of mine into cooldown extensions. So, Chozo, it sounds like you're pretty heavily into you want the cooldowns, just because I'm assuming that's because you want the value of your Gen 1s to go way up. And I definitely think it would do that. I don't have any Gen Zeros, but if I did, I wouldn't want to extend it either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they can see a lot more than I can, but I just don't think it's worth it. I do most of my summoning in the pit. Oh yeah, I bet you do, Skiller. I need to start using the pit a lot more. I just hate losing heroes. I like all my potatoes, but I think we're gonna have no choice but to start burning them. Rabito, there is a free market. It's mainly DFK doesn't have a complete game economy yet. Yeah, they definitely have a lot of holes in their game economy. And I say that not as mean as that might have sound. They have plans for all those holes to be filled in. It's just going to take time for them all to get filled in. Though the Jade arbitrage and summoning is probably the biggest issue, Jozo says. Watch how I'm reading this. J Dub's going to get on my case if I read these wrong. Yeah, no, I agree. I read shit wrong all the time. So we got a -5. What's the rest of you guys rating on this whole summoning cooldown? Do you think I'm more looking think if you think it's as important as they're making it sound, or if you think it's just a kind of a I don't want to say a waste of time because I don't think anything's really a waste of time. But I just think there's more important things they could work on. Oh man, I was just busting balls. That's all good, J Dubs. I'm the same way. I love razzing people, so I don't mind getting razzed back. It's all good. And I do tend to read some of this stuff messed up, and without my glasses, it makes it even harder. So far, it sounds like J Dubs is the only one that wanted to give a score on this. So if you guys haven't been here before and don't know how the scoring system works, so bearish is in the negative, bullish is in the positive, and it goes from -5 to +5. So that's what we're looking at. And so if you guys start getting your votes on that, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. This whole summoning thing's been going on and on forever. I just wanted to make sure I got my 2 cents in there. So the next topic's going to be the roadmap. Skiller, he gets flat 0. It looks like we got 2 more end partials on it. So not too bad. It's not killing us. All right. So who wants to talk about the roadmap? And how come I don't have the roadmap pulled up? Well, I'm slacking. So let's get that yanked up here real quick. Oh shit. I don't even have well, this might take a second. So let's talk about the roadmap. So what are your guys' thoughts on the roadmap? I think it's kind of cool they gave it to us. I don't think there's really anything in there that is different than I didn't already figure out already. I'm not happy that I didn't see mobile on there somewhere. But, some people might obsess over page 10. I, I tend to obsess over mobile. So that's my hang up is the whole scroll down to it. So it looks like we got the additional combat classes, player versus player, and expeditions on the primary. So secondary, I'm not really giving that much value considering from what I can see, the primary, they have a lot of work to do still here. So the secondary is really not something I'm focused on too much. Although pet combat would be kind of cool. But page 10 is a lie. Let it go. Oh, I think we are so far away from even thinking about page 10. But some people are really obsessed over that. Kind of like I'm obsessed over the whole mobile situation. But so here's my thought on the whole roadmap thing. You know, why did they find it important to do the roadmap? What's the reasoning behind them all of a sudden issuing the roadmap in this format? Now, if it's because a lot of the partnerships they're talking to are wanting to see a roadmap, or do they have people that are that they're wanting to onboard and they're saying what's the roadmap look like? Give me a link to the roadmap, and they don't really have one. So they decided they had to make it. So I don't think they made it for us existing players because I don't see the point in that. So what do you guys think? What do you think is the reason behind their urgency to get the roadmap out? Communication expectations is good. Jozo's already throwing out his positive 0.3. Like I said, I'm more curious of what's the reasoning behind it. What's the reasoning behind all of a suddenly it's important to get that out? Oh yeah, I forgot I can't do that. Ding dong. I keep doing that. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? What do you think the big reason for all of a suddenly worrying about the roadmap is? I mean, I wish for a long time the roadmap would have been something we'd saw. I think it's for partnerships, not really for us. Yeah, Skiller, I agree. I think it's either for partnerships or they think it's going to be a big help for onboarding people. I mean, that's my opinion. Jozo thinks it's just for making things more transparent, no big reason. You think they just had some time to kill, so they're putting it out there? Community keeps asking when. Yeah, the community keeps asking when about a lot of things, but they don't seem to ever give us any kind of real answer. Jewelers Guild. So who are you? Are you Dags or are you Mega? Jeremy, 2 million in Metis. What do you mean by that? 2 million in Metis, Jeremy? Party due to repeat questions on when in the AMAs. I guess they have asked for it a lot when in the AMAs. I've just never really paid attention to it. That's one of those things that I just, there's a lot of wins I hear in AMA. Skiller agrees with the AMA thing. Oh, hey, Mega. So Skiller thinks it was probably part of the partnership. So, you know, maybe it's just a little bit of all of them. They just figured, well, shit, it ain't going to take us very long to throw something together. So they did it. This is their way of showing what is actually important and everything else we ask when about and not a priority. Yeah, I can agree with that. Jeremy, there is 2 million grants in Metis tokens, which change priorities towards PvP, which changes the roadmap. Yeah, I could see that. So it's kind of like, hey, we got this 2 million. Let's show them where we're actually putting this and where it's important. So yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. I'll go with that. PJs not soon. No, PJs aren't soon. I can't. I'm not a PJ Hero holder, so my opinion on the whole PJ thing is kind of irrelevant. But if I was to pretend I was a PJ Hero holder, I think I would want them to push the PJ stuff out as far as they can. So when they do it, there's a lot more options and a lot better things that they could do for the PJ play. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of where I feel about it. But I'm not a PJ holder, so I shouldn't have any opinions in it. All right, so development is super slow. Should they get more developers to speed things up? I definitely think they will be getting more developers here soon. It's just onboarding just takes so much time. I think they're kind of pushing it off until they get to a point to where they can afford that setback of onboarding more people. PJ J Dubs, that's not nice. PJ Turney's is equivalent to page 10. Uh, so how do you pronounce that? Is that Jacamok? Well, I'm probably gonna screw that all up. More developers takes at least 4 to 6 months before anyone is useful. Yeah, J Dubs, and I think that's the problem. I think if we got to a point where you could start new hires on with something simple and let them just get used to things and not actually focusing on the main project. But the one thing I think maybe is possible that they could do, and this is what I would love to see them do, is contract out developers to build the mobile play. So they could just contract out someone to set up the mobile play instead of having to onboard people and do all that. Now, I don't know how involved all that would be in all that, but that's just something that's gone off in my head of how they could get that working. But again, I'm obsessed with mobile play, so I hate when management says we will get more guys and get the project done faster. I rage inside. Oh yeah. And I used to do a lot of the business development. I part of my job in the past was onboarding and getting people teamed up and building all that stuff. I hated that because I just knew how much it was going to slow us down whenever we do it. And then it just screws up the whole project. Jojo Chozo states for loving, not fighting. I read this and thought it was just silly. Then I really thought about it. This could be kind of cool. No idea how team would do it, but I like that idea. But just Gen Zero's PJ's stats for loving, not fighting. Oh, good morning, Chippy. Stats for pumping Gen 1 outs. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of focusing on. The Gen 1s on just getting them up to 20 so I can boost their stats. But yeah, I kind of agree. Perfect time to hire folks is right after a deliverable is given. Then there is some lead time to, yeah, definitely J Dubs. I agree with that. So let's get back to the roadmap and let's get some score on here. I think I only got the one score so far. So I think, I don't know. I mean, how am I going to rate it? I'm pretty excited about seeing it because I love roadmaps, but where do I want to rank it? I'm saying I don't like the whole time spent doing things, but I really don't think that there was a whole lot of time spent doing that. So I'm going to give it a bullish. I'm going to give it a +2 on there. So we got Jeremy gives it a 4. Rabito gives it a 3. 3. So I got a 4, 3, and 3. 4, 3, and 3. Road roadmap provides focus for what team and community. Yeah. Hey, Sir Worm showed up. So Sir Worm gives it a 2. Love it. So what are we gonna come? What is the next topic? The next topic is the Hercules DEX. And I want to know what you guys think about the Hercules DEX. So I will share some of my thoughts on the Hercules DEX, and I'm not pulling it up here. That thing's a pain in the butt to get in and out of. I should have set that all up before time, but I was struggling. I was trying to get that whole donate 3 thing working properly, and I really don't know if it even is. Without any time frame, that's the most I'd give. Yeah, I agree, Sir Worms. Time frames would be nice, but they're struggling. Oh, Chozo, I didn't get your rating in there. Let me go add that in there for you. I think that's what you said, right? Yeah, +1. So the Hercules deck's only a +1. So let's think about the Hercules decks. So is it itself a good? Chozo gave it a +3. I thought you rated it before. Didn't you rate? Didn't I get you in there before? No, I didn't get you in there before. All right, I'll go ahead and change that. All right. So yeah, the Hercules decks. So what is exciting about the Hercules decks? So I think for the future of GameFi, having the Jewel token on as many decks as possible is extremely important. So I would like to see, in my perfect vision of where DeFi Kingdoms is going, I'd like to see Jewel on every single decks out there. Let's get it on Axie Infinity. Let's get it on all these out there, because that makes crossplay a lot better. Let's say you're a big Axie Infinity player and you want to start playing DeFi Kingdoms. Well, if you can just turn your SLP into Jewel, bridge it over, and start playing, that would just make things a lot more fluid. In my mind, that just makes sense to where I wouldn't have to go through and have to figure out a way to bridge my SLP into ETH and switch ETH over into. It's a whole mess. So the more games we can get our currency related to, I guess you'd say. How would you word that? Because I'm sure Hercules is not going to use Jewel as one of their game tokens. But if Jewel is in their decks, and then it makes it that much easier. So, and I know it's kind of like the Metis thing more than the Hercules things, but still, it's all the same thing. It's still all mixing everything together to make it more that fluid dynamic. So we got people throwing out scores already. So J-Dubs 3 for Hercules decks. I'm participating and hoping it brings more users in. Yeah, J-Dubs, I definitely think it could bring more users in. Jeremy gives it a 3, so that's 2 3s so far. Sticks intern. Hey, Sticks, how's it going? So let's go throw those 2 3s in there before I forget about them. All right. Jozo, I'm new to cross chain. The pain was getting Metis for gas. Yeah, and I mean, I'm finding, I went in and I put a bunch in the pools, not a bunch, but I put some in the pools over there. And man, the amount of money I spent in gas between exchanging tokens and all that different stuff, whew, that wasn't cheap. So I hope the returns on being in them pools really pays off. I didn't put enough in there to really get any real big gains. So we'll see how that plays out. But still, again, if I already have it in there and I decide I want to play Hercules, that just makes it that much easier to switch it over to whatever token they use. I can't remember what the token name was that I put it against, but it's the common one. Same one everyone else uses. So any other thoughts on that or scores? Sir Worm says 5 for the decks. If the Coliseum uses Jewel as the token for players, which I think it would be, then being in Hercules is critical. Yes, Sir Worm. That's another good way to think about it. Because already being there and already having such interest in it, I mean, I think we're like the second or third largest pool that they got going right now. So it would definitely make it easier for them to make it as one of the rewards. So Sir Worm gives it a +5. Let's throw that on there. Let's get that in there. So, I'm pretty bullish on it. And I haven't been very bullish on many of the partnerships except for the whole Metis thing. And I'm really bullish on the Metis thing just because I think the vision of Metis is very similar to the vision of DeFi Kingdoms. And I'm extremely bullish on the vision of DeFi Kingdoms. So I think the Metis partnership is one of the is probably one of the only ones I'm fully strong on. Do you think private matches will cost Jewel to play, or do you think it'll only be like wagering? I'm not sure. They said Jewel will be tightly tied to the Coliseum, so I'm intrigued. That's a good thing to think about, Sticks in turn. Is there for private duels, is there going to be an entry fee? So all the games that I've played in Web3, there has not been an entry fee for private duels. Now, I don't know if that's going to be different because it's a third party, kind of like a third party system. It's not, how do I word that? I know it's not actually a third party, but it's not, the Coliseum to me doesn't seem like it's going to be fully operated by DeFi Kingdoms. Does that make sense? Skiller, what Skiller say? I missed one here. I think the Dex is a good thing. I just hope it's a success or that will be another negative hit for the community. Yes, Skiller, I definitely agree. I mean, it is. We have taken a lot of hits on these partnerships, and I don't want to go too much into that because I think that might be a personal opinion. I think at this point, any publicity is good publicity. Well, yeah, any publicity is always good publicity, but I'm tired of this publicity that only brings us a very few more amount of players. I want to see something that is highly publicized where we get a lot of players. So what Sticks there here? He's got a definite opinion on the whole. So I think the Coliseum will be fully operated by DeFi Kingdom. What gives you the impressions that it wouldn't be? Just curious. I think the gameplay and the mechanics will be fully controlled by DeFi Kingdoms. But I think when it comes to the tournaments and a lot of the, how do I say this? I think I think Metis will have a lot of say so in what goes on in the Coliseums. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm having a hard time figuring out how I word that and how I feel about that. Because it seems like a lot of what Metis is doing, I think it's a positive, but I think it's going to be more of a partnership than a one-sided thing. Okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from there. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. So good. So I made enough sense. Oh, what we got here? Christian Peter. Hey, Christian, how you doing? Good to see you in here. I think Metis is going to be just like Klaytn in terms of hands-on with DFK. To me, Klaytn and Metis are just finding partners. DFK team is in control. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I think they are fully, but I think there's going to be some outside talkings. I don't know how to say that. Sticks in turn knows what I mean. So I I hate to keep going back to where I'm worried about the rollout of the whole tournament and PvP system. I'm just really concerned it's not going to hit the way I want it to hit without mobile gameplay. That's what worries me. Yeah, like they decide what tournaments to sponsor. Exactly, Sticks. I think it's gonna be like I can bring this tournament to the table. Are you guys interested? And someone's gonna throw down $100,000 for a tournament. They're gonna have some say so in how that tournament's ran. And they can decide to sponsor or not to sponsor ones they don't like. Yeah, Sticks in turn knows what I'm talking about, and he's better with words than I am. So, oh, so do we got any more people that want to vote on the whole? Uh, shit. Now I forget the Hercules decks. That's what we were talking about. Christian Peterson put something in good. Christian Peter put something in here. Sorry, Christian. I'm always going to mess up your name. My bad. Metis is a partner who is funding much of the PvP expansion and marketing. No creative input, but they want everything successful to attract people to Metis. Exactly. I think we're going to have control over the the mechanics and all that good stuff. Hey, good morning, King. Uh, I'll give it a +5 because if Hercules is half as good to me, oh, my eyes are gone, I'll be a very, very happy camper. Yeah, and I see a lot of good things that can possibly happen with the whole Hercules thing. So throw the 5 in there for Sticks Intern. Well, I wish I wouldn't have left those glasses back at the truck. So the next topic, if everyone's done voting on that, the next topic, I believe I set it out for you guys to decide. And I actually left 2 spaces here, not on purpose, but that's just what happened. Hey, what happened there? I screwed shit up. There we go. So what topic do you guys have in mind? Bring some good stuff out here. I want to talk about some good stuff. I was really struggling to find some good topics. It's been, I don't want to say uneventful because a lot has been going on, but nothing that really can drive an opinion one way or the other. What we got here? Kings, good day, B Dubs or J Dubs. There you go, J Dubs. You got something else to razz me about. 2 noobs. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, I'd appreciate some likes, guys, if you guys don't mind. Summoning past 5 out of 10. For G1. Oh, Gen 1's. Opinions. All right. It's all right, King. We understand. You're just waking up, aren't you? All right, we're done. Sticks Intern gave us a thumbs up. We can call it a day. Just kidding. What topics? What do you guys want to talk about? Bring out some hard ones. Make me give some opinions that I probably shouldn't give opinions on. So right now, what do I got going on? We got Sticks Intern. What you got? What you got going on here? Good to see you everywhere too, Christian Peter. It is good to see you everywhere. I love seeing you guys out there. My opinion on the best class right now, Well, I'm a diehard ninja lover, so it's hard to really say. I would have to pick my favorite class to play is the archer, but I've always played ranged heroes. I like to sit back and just shoot at people. I've never been a close combat type person. I know, and then I say I like the ninja, so that makes no sense. But I just like what it sounds like the ninja is going to end up being. He sounds like a fun player to play. So I would have to say the archer just because that's more my play style. So what else you got here? Sticks in turn. What would you nerf and what would you buff? Let's see. What would I nerf? I think I would nerf them baby chickens when they turn purple. What do they call that? But I mean, I guess that's supposed to be a game over move when they get to that point. So that's part of the mechanics. But if I was going to nerf them, that's what I would nerf. If I was going to buff anything, I would buff the priest that, what is that? That arcane blast? Is that what it's called? Can't remember what it's called. Two noobs. Ninja needs a. Oh man, I can't read that. Shuriken. Ninja is stealth. Exactly. I want to go in and start robbing people. Yeah, the demon box. That's what I was talking about. Nerf the demon box. Duff buff damage priest. I love these takes. Yeah, I would really love to see more adversity come out of the priest. Like I don't know how many people played World of Warcraft, but I gather a lot did. I used to love playing a damage priest, especially in PvP, because man, you could go through and just slaughter people. Night level 15 abilities are pretty freaking bad. I don't think I got a knight that's above 15 yet. All right, Sir Worm, what do you say here? Whether DFK high numbers of taxable transactions will actually be a turnoff for players, especially if there's no easy, accessible way to determine income anytime the user wants. Woo! Sir Worm wants to get deep on me. uh, I don't deal with none of that. My accountant, she's got my OXs and she's got a program that goes through and scams for it. She says it's probably only about 50% accurate, but I shouldn't get any kind of audits anyways with the way she's doing it. And compared to the other games that I play, I would say for every 100 transactions in DeFi Kingdoms, there's only one for the other games. So would that be a turnoff? I'm not sure. I think that really is going to depend on how serious people take it. So I don't know if I'm the one to really talk on that one. Ooh, I'm getting way behind in chat here. All right, sticks there in turn. But bro, the basic attack damage, so useful because then you don't have to use Mighty Strike. Oh, you're talking about the Knight? Yeah, it's basic attack damage. I mean, does that go up that high when you're when you're up to level 15? Let me have Mighty Strike and Taunt. I want it all, and I want it now. Yeah, level 15 Taunt would have been nice. April sucks. Oh, for the taxes, yeah. This is a good question, Worm. Sticks is trolling. Oh, y'all crack me up. But yeah, so any topics that you guys want to discuss, it's rateable. Try and get back on here. I do like your whole thoughts on that. What to buff, what to nerf. I like that, Sticks. I'm probably not the guy to ask that for, considering I suck at combat and that's not really my thing. But I definitely think the priests need to have more attack abilities. But that's not for me to deal with. So you guys can't think of another topic either, boy. I'm bad for thinking up topics also. So that makes you the perfect guy to ask. The suckier the better. I guess that's true. Because I mean you do want to kind of cater to all people, not just the elite. So I got a question for you guys, and this is not a rateable question. And this has really been on my mind lately. And I kind of keep thinking I want to save it for a one-on-one topic because I am going to start doing more interviews. But I want to put this out there and let you guys think about it. And if you have strong views on this, maybe reach out to me and I can get you as one of my guests on here. So when you think DeFi Kingdoms, do you think the the way DeFi Kingdoms is building its platform? Let's forget about the gameplay itself. Let's just talk about how they're structuring everything. Do you think that's going to be the model for future gaming? Or do you think it's going to be, as I call it the 2.5, web 2.5, where all the gameplay is done in web 2, but you claim out to web 1 or web 3, web 1. Well, I'm going way back. My personal opinion, I think DeFi Kingdoms and the way they're building is so much better than what everybody else is doing that I think it's definitely going to be the model. I think we're a long ways out from seeing that, but I think it's going to be the model. And once that goes to the model and we have more games on that we are going to stop this thinking web 2, web 3, that it's just going to be gaming. So Rabito, what do you say here? On the mobile topic, the demographics that play mobile game isn't necessarily the same ones that play MMOs. Does that skew your priority for mobile? No, it doesn't. Because I can guarantee you I have at least 100 people in the past 3 months asked me, is DeFi Kingdoms playable on mobile? And I have to tell them no all the time. If I can get this scholarship program working good and it was on mobile, I could easily build up a large scholarship program based on DeFi Kingdoms if it was playable on mobile. You got to think we are alienating probably 60+% of the Asian market because we're not on mobile. And the Asian market makes up the majority of gameplay out there. Now, I see what you're saying, the whole MMO. I think it's more, I think RPG is not really known for gameplay on mobile. And I could see that because the complexities of it. But I think with the way DeFi Kingdom set up the combat, you no longer have to worry about that complexity being a hindrance on mobile. I think being mobile gameplay for DeFi Kingdoms would bring in a lot more MMORPG players to mobile because of the simplicity. You don't have that complex battles. You have it complex. Boy, how do I word that? You have it complex in the fact that the strategy is complex, but you don't have to aim or none of that stuff like you would a lot of other MMORPGs. Does that make sense? I do not think this will be the model. So J Dubs disagrees. He does not think that DeFi Kingdoms will be the model unless you are instancing in a hunts. Now, see, I think I consider hunts still Web3. I don't consider that the same as like how the other games are building because the combat may not be done be done on chain, but you claim directly to the chain and you stake your items and everything on chain prior to playing. And also the stamina and all that stuff's recorded to on chain. So I guess that depends on how picky you want to be on whether it's on chain or off chain. But I would say when it comes to hunts, still 90% of it, if let's just say 80% of it's still done on chain. It might not be every single move, but it's still mostly on chain. So, oh wait, I missed that. Games where you control a character's movement on a screen provides the consistent feedback of gamers. DFK is more of a mix of card game and Final Fantasy tactics. Yeah, J Dubs. If we could choose one hero to be our avatar and move them around like a pixel, I think DFK would grab a shit ton of shit, shit ton more players. Yeah, I really wonder about that. I wonder if it would. I think that'd be cool and shit. I would love to walk from the tavern over to the, and then go inside the tavern, walk up to the bar, sit down. Me and J Dubs could sit down and have a little chat. That would be kind of cool. Hard to discuss with J Dubs on that, or hard to disagree with J Dubs on that. My first impression playing DeFi Kingdoms was, how do I move? That's right, there is a problem. Fair point considering trying to target the Asian market. Yeah, and I think that's why we had such a hard time with well no, I want to say we didn't succeed with Klaytn because it wasn't on mobile, but really when we partnered with Klaytn, everything that was in the game was easily done on mobile. So we can't blame the whole not being able to get much of the market on that. Boy, that sounded stupid. But you know what I mean. Just because it would be a waste of that image data not to have something. People would be down for mobile with easy to liquidate assets, microtransactions for worthless stuff are insidious enough. Now you throw that into the game with real assets. Well, I'll have to think about that one. You do make a good point there, Chozo. But I, I think right now liquidating assets within DeFi Kingdoms is not that easy because you have to bridge them out, but it's not that complicated either. So I'll have to ponder that one a little bit. I've drank the poison bad. I got a DFK problem. I think most of us in here have a DFK problem. Every player in the Philippines loves playing scholarships when it comes to NFT and Web3 games. Yes, King, and I want to start building us back up. I want to get our group back together. So let all your friends know we're getting ready to fire up scholarships hard in Dragon Masters. So I have spent thousands of Korean MMO just for cosmetics. I play DFK the same. I buy the shit I want, and maybe one day when I don't want it, I can sell it back. Yeah, and J Dubs, that's one of my favorite things about Web3. And, you know, I might be a couple days older than a lot of you guys, but, back when I would buy games, we'd go buy cartridges and stuff like that. We could sell them. Once we were done playing them, we could sell them. Now, granted, we couldn't sell them for a whole lot, but most of us had that local pawn shop you could go into and you could swap game for game and then pay like $1 fee, and that's kind of, I see that coming back when we're talking Web3. So, Skillers, I'm old. I'll take your word for it, Skiller. I don't think I've ever seen your face or seen any of that. So I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I'm so excited for Web3, where Web3 is going. We're the GameStop now. I guess so. GameStop. This is gonna sound really bad, but GameStop is actually kind of after my days of really gaming. But from my understanding, like when you go in to GameStop, they're going to give you like $15 for your shit, and then everything in there costs $80 or plus. So I don't know. Skiller, you 55? Jozo, born in 55. I'm 42. So you're just a kid still, Skiller. I wish I was only 42. You're right. They totally rip you off. That's what I thought. Like I said, I haven't done much of that. That's kind of, I started PC gaming. Let's see here. I started gaming on a PC. My last console was a GameCube. So that's my last time dealing with any of that stuff. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, I think it's getting about time to wrap it up. I think we've been running for an hour now. What does it say? Yeah, just a little over an hour. So let's see where we ended up with on our bullish meter here. So, how did you guys give it an 11%? What the hell? 53%. That must have added and not averaged. No? Oh, that's because that's a 3. I got to change that. Well, I dick this thing up every week, don't I, guys? There we go. So you guys went up 1. Hercules, I never rated Hercules. I gave that a +5. Big time bullish on that. We didn't do a community topic. So we got to get those out of there. We got to get those out of there. Oh, look at we tied. We both got a 2 and a 2. So where did we end up there? Oh, where am I doing? I have no clue what I'm doing here. So that put me at a 60 and you guys at a 55. All right. So we're still going up. Someday we'll be at 100 if we keep going this way. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for showing up. It's been fun as always. Next week, I should have a guest on, and we will see how that all plays out. Thanks again for watching.